Letting go is an art and a crucial life skill that affects our emotional, psychological, and sometimes even physical well-being. It's about clearing out the old to make way for the new. It's about detachment from things that we've outgrown or that hinder our path to genuine happiness and fulfillment. This could mean letting go of a mindset that limits our potential, a habit that harms our health, or a memory that keeps us tied to the past. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can't. It helps us to recognize that much of our external suffering comes from the way we attach ourselves to people, possessions, or outcomes. It offers us the wisdom to understand that true happiness doesn't come from external sources, but from within. As we dive into this topic today, we'll explore not just the practical aspects of letting go, but also the emotional and philosophical ones. We'll discuss how letting go can lead to a greater sense of freedom and peace, and how, by practicing the principles of Stoicism, we can cultivate a life of contentment and resilience. So whether you're holding on to a job that no longer fulfills you, a relationship that's run its course, or old perceptions of yourself, this discussion is for you. It's about making space in your life for growth and happiness. If you appreciate what we're diving into here, the simplest favor you can do for us is hit that subscribe button. And really, to get the most out of today's topic, I encourage you not to skip any part of the video. Every moment is packed with insights that could make a significant difference in how you view and approach life. Let's get started. The fear of holding on. Have you ever caught yourself clinging to things simply because they're familiar, even though they no longer bring you joy or fulfillment? It's a common human experience, this fear of letting go. We often hold on to relationships that have fizzled out, jobs that drain rather than energize us, and habits that do us more harm than good. Why? Because stepping into the unknown can be really scary. It's uncomfortable to confront the void that might be left behind. But here's where Stoic philosophy sheds some light and offers us a different perspective. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom isn't about having the perfect circumstances around us. It's about mastering our internal responses. The Stoics believed that our power lies not in altering the external world to suit our needs, but in adjusting our inner attitudes. They taught that every form of suffering is an opportunity to practice virtue and improve our character. So, when we hold on to past hurts or stale relationships, we're essentially choosing the comfort of the known over the growth that comes from embracing change. Think about it. What are you holding on to right now that's no longer serving you? Is it a grudge? A relationship where the love has long since run its course? Or perhaps a job that feels more like a chore than a calling? Holding on to these can make you feel stuck, powerless. But imagine the sense of liberation that could come from releasing these burdens. Imagine affirming to yourself that you are enough, all on your own, that you don't need to depend on outdated connections or unfulfilling jobs to define your worth or happiness. By recognizing these patterns of attachment, we can start to loosen their grip on us. It's not about discarding everything and everyone that doesn't spark joy in a Marie Kondo-esque frenzy, but rather about thoughtfully considering what truly benefits us. This discernment is a key aspect of Stoic practice, knowing what is within our power to change and what is not. And while the fear of the unknown might never completely vanish, by cultivating a robust inner life, we can face that fear with courage and a sense of composure. The Stoics remind us that we have the potential to generate our own happiness independent of our external circumstances. This doesn't mean ignoring the real pain that can come from ending a relationship or leaving a job, but it does mean seeing these endings as necessary for personal growth and new beginnings. It's about embracing the belief that you are fundamentally enough by yourself, capable of facing life's challenges with resilience and creating happiness from within. So next time you find yourself clinging to the familiar simply because it's comfortable, ask yourself, is this truly enhancing my life? Or is it just preventing me from experiencing the growth and joy that could come from letting go and moving forward? With this Stoic mindset, you can begin to dismantle the fears that hold you back, step by step, and truly start living with the freedom and happiness you deserve. Personal experience and Stoic insight. I completely understand how challenging it can feel to step away from a situation that's familiar. I've been right there with you, stuck in circumstances that seemed safe, but were actually stifling my personal growth and happiness. Whether it's staying in a job that no longer challenges you, or holding on to a relationship that has run its course, the comfort of the familiar can be incredibly seductive. It whispers promises of security and ease, but at what cost? Now, let's consider a powerful Stoic insight. What if the act of letting go, as daunting as it may seem, is actually the gateway to true freedom? Stoicism teaches us that our true power lies not in our external conditions, but in our ability to control our responses to these conditions. The philosophy urges us to examine our attachments, whether to people, possessions, or positions, and question whether they serve our highest good or simply tether us to mediocrity. When we rely too heavily on external sources for our happiness, we end up giving away our power. We allow our peace and contentment to be contingent on the whims and wills of others or the fleeting success of our material achievements. This is a precarious way to live because it places the control of our happiness outside ourselves. Every time we do this, we surrender a little bit more of our inner strength and freedom. So, why not reclaim that power? Why not start the journey back to self-sufficiency, where your happiness is something you generate from within? This doesn't mean that we should isolate ourselves or reject meaningful connections. Rather, it's about reorienting our reliance so that our happiness begins with us, not with something or someone else. Think about a time when you felt truly at peace or genuinely happy. Chances are these moments might have involved external factors, but the real depth of that happiness came from your internal state, your thoughts, your mindset, your acceptance, or your resilience. This is the kind of enduring happiness that Stoicism aims for us to achieve, a state of contentment that is not easily shaken by external changes. Taking steps to let go of the unnecessary and focus on building your internal resources can be liberating. It's about making space for new experiences, relationships, and insights that align better with who you are becoming, rather than who you once were. This process of letting go and moving forward is not just about loss. It's about gaining a deeper, more meaningful freedom and happiness. Reclaiming your power means taking responsibility for your emotional well-being. It involves making sometimes difficult but necessary decisions that align more closely with your values and your growth. Each step in this direction not only strengthens your resilience, but also deepens your understanding of what it truly means to live a good life according to Stoic principles. So as you contemplate whether to hold on to or let go of something in your life, ask yourself, does this enhance my freedom, or does it restrict it? Does it contribute to my happiness, or does it detract from it? Am I holding on out of fear of the unknown, or am I ready to embrace the possibility of a freer, fuller life? These are not easy questions, but they are worth exploring if we are to live not just comfortably, but profoundly. Cultivating inner joy. First off, when we talk about self-sufficiency in the context of Stoicism, we're not advocating for a life of isolation or emotional suppression. Quite the opposite, actually. Stoicism teaches us to fully experience our emotions, but to do so wisely, by understanding them, managing them, and using them as tools for personal growth. This philosophical approach helps us navigate life more effectively, and reach a state of contentment that isn't easily disturbed by outside forces. The concept of inner joy is fascinating because it's something deeply personal and entirely created by you. It's about finding joy in your own company and the quiet moments of your life. It's about appreciating the morning sun or the calm of the evening, finding bliss in your passions and satisfaction in your achievements, no matter how small. This kind of joy is crucial because it's stable. It's not dependent on the latest gadget, a flashy car, or even the approval of others. It comes from a place deep within you. Building this fortress of tranquility means that your happiness doesn't wobble every time life throws you a curveball. Whether it's financial troubles, relationship issues, or career setbacks, these problems don't shake your core happiness because it's not anchored to these external factors. So how do you start building this inner fortress? It begins with self-awareness. Spend time with yourself. Get to know your likes and dislikes, your strengths and your limitations. Meditation and journaling can be great tools here. They allow you to connect with your inner self, understand your emotions, and clarify your thoughts. As you develop this self-awareness, you start crafting responses to life's challenges that are in line with your true self, rather than reactive bursts based on momentary feelings. Next, embrace simplicity. There's incredible peace that comes from simplifying your life, reducing clutter, both physical and mental, focusing on what's truly important and letting go of the needless. This doesn't mean living a minimalistic life unless you want to, but rather choosing to not let possessions or the pursuit of them own you. It's about freeing yourself from societal pressures to constantly acquire and compare. Moreover, cultivating inner joy involves practicing gratitude. This is a powerful tool. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Regularly reflecting on the things you're grateful for, be it health, small wins of the day, or meaningful relationships, reinforces the sources of joy that are already in your life, making them more vivid and more significant. Finally, connecting with nature and engaging in physical activity are also key. These actions ground you and remind you of the simple joys of being alive. Whether it's a walk in the park, a strenuous hike, or just sitting quietly by a stream, nature connects you to the larger world and provides a sense of peace and belonging. Physical activities, on the other hand, release endorphins that boost your mood and can shift your perspective positively. Cultivating inner joy is about creating a life where you are at peace with who you are and where you are on your journey, regardless of external circumstances. It's about finding a balanced state where you enjoy life's highs and handle its lows with grace and wisdom. This inner fortress doesn't get built overnight, but every small step you take is a brick laid in the foundation of a more joyful, resilient you. So let's cherish and nurture our inner selves, crafting a life of fulfillment that truly resonates with who we are. The challenge of letting go. Let's face it, letting go is tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's often as painful as ripping off a band-aid. It stings, it burns, and sometimes it feels like you're losing a part of yourself. But despite the immediate discomfort, letting go is a crucial step toward growth. It's about more than just enduring the pain. It's understanding that this act, as difficult as it is, paves the way for healing and renewal on many levels, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Why is it so hard to let go? Because often, our identities, our routines, and even our safety nets are tied up in the very things we need to release. Whether it's a job, a relationship, or an old habit, these elements can become so integrated into our lives that the thought of letting them go feels unsettling, even threatening. But here's the thing, The fear of letting go is usually tied to the fear of what comes after. What happens when we're no longer defined by that relationship or that job? Who are we without these familiar crutches? This is where the growth happens. In the space that's left when we let go, there's room for something new to enter. It's in this space that we can discover aspects of ourselves we never knew existed, develop strength we didn't think we had, and begin to heal from wounds we didn't realize were holding us back. The process of letting go, while painful at first, is often the gateway to discovering a deeper sense of self and a greater capacity for resilience. Think of it this way. When you clear out old clothes from your closet, you're making room for new ones that better fit who you are today, not who you were years ago. The same goes for emotional and spiritual decluttering. By releasing what no longer serves you, you make space for new experiences and insights that resonate with your current path and who you aspire to be. And the beautiful part? You will heal. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means it no longer controls our lives. Looking back, you'll often realize that stepping into the unknown, while terrifying at the time, was the best decision you could have made. It's like reaching the top of a mountain after a grueling climb and seeing the breathtaking view. Suddenly, the pain and effort make sense. You needed that journey to appreciate the vista before you. So, yes, letting go is a challenge. It's a real, tangible struggle that can test the very fiber of your being. But it's also a profound opportunity for growth and transformation. Each time you let go, you learn a little more about your strengths, your resilience, and your capacity to adapt and thrive in changing circumstances. Each act of letting go is a lesson in trust. Trust in the natural progression of life, trust in your ability to rebuild and renew, and trust that what's ahead could be better than anything you've left behind. Steps to independence. The first step toward personal independence and self-discovery is to start investing time in yourself. This might sound simple, but it's surprising how often we neglect our own needs and interests in the hustle and bustle of daily life. Taking time for yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary for building a strong and independent you. Now think about what activities truly make you feel alive and joyful. What were the things you loved doing as a child or dreamt of exploring but never got around to? It could be anything from painting, which allows you to express your innermost feelings on a canvas, to reading, where you can lose yourself in different worlds and perspectives. Or perhaps it's hiking, where you can connect with nature and feel the solid ground beneath your feet, reminding you of the beauty of the present moment. These aren't just hobbies, they are pathways to rediscovering parts of yourself that you may have neglected or never fully explored. Engaging in these passions wholeheartedly is key. When you dive deep into activities that you love, you're not just passing time, you're enriching your life. There's a profound difference in doing something with all your heart versus just skimming the surface. By immersing yourself completely, you create experiences that are deeply satisfying and fulfilling. When you are truly absorbed in something you love, loneliness and the feeling of being incomplete start to fade away. You're no longer seeking external validation or company to fill a void. Instead, you are filling it yourself with things that bring you genuine joy and satisfaction. This isn't about escapism. It's about reconnecting with your inner self and finding joy in your own company. This process also helps to strengthen your sense of self. As you spend more time doing what you love, you gain confidence in your abilities and preferences. You become more aware of what makes you happy, what challenges you, and what helps you grow. This self-awareness is a crucial component of independence because it means you're less likely to depend on others for your sense of identity or happiness. So, take this as a friendly nudge to start carving out time for yourself. Whether it's an hour a day or a few hours a week, Make it a priority. Explore new activities or revisit old passions. Pay attention to what stirs your soul and makes you lose track of time. These are clues to what truly satisfies you. Remember, every moment you spend engaged in something meaningful is a step toward a more independent, resilient, and fulfilled you. It's about building a life where you are the primary source of your happiness, not merely a responder to the actions and desires of others. Building positive relationships. When it comes to building a life filled with joy and fulfillment, the people you surround yourself with play a pivotal role. It's essential to cultivate an environment of positivity, one where the energy around you supports and uplifts your spirit. So how do we ensure that our social circle enriches our lives rather than drains it? First and foremost, it's about connecting with friends and mentors who not only uplift you, but also challenge you to grow and evolve into your best self. These are the people who cheer you on when you succeed and offer constructive criticism when you falter. They believe in your potential, even when you doubt yourself. These relationships are built on mutual respect and genuine care, where both parties feel valued and inspired. Finding mentors can be particularly transformative. A mentor isn't necessarily someone who has it all figured out, but rather someone who's willing to share their experiences and wisdom with you. They guide you through challenges, offer advice based on their own journeys, and provide a different perspective that can help you see possibilities you might not have considered on your own. A mentor's encouragement can be a powerful motivator, especially when you're navigating new territories in your personal or professional life. But just as it's important to seek out and nurture these positive relationships, it's equally crucial to let go of the toxic ones. Toxic relationships are those that consistently leave you feeling drained, diminished, or devalued. They can be subtle, like a friend who always criticizes your achievements, or overt, like a partner who discourages your efforts to improve yourself. These relationships often create a cycle of negativity that can be hard to break, but breaking free is necessary for your well-being. Letting go of toxic ties isn't just about avoiding negativity, it's about respecting yourself enough to say no to people who don't see or appreciate the real, unfiltered you. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be treated with kindness, respect, and understanding. When you release these draining ties, you make room for more meaningful connections that truly reflect your values and aspirations. Surrounding yourself with positivity isn't about having a perfect social circle. Rather, it's about striving to ensure that your relationships support your growth and contribute to your happiness. It involves actively choosing who you spend time with and making tough decisions to protect your mental and emotional health. Remember, building positive relationships is a dynamic process. It requires ongoing effort to maintain and cultivate connections that are supportive and uplifting. Check in with yourself regularly about how your relationships are affecting you. Are they helping you grow? Are they making you happy? If not, it might be time to reevaluate and adjust your social circle accordingly. So, take a step today. Reach out to someone who inspires you, someone who makes you feel appreciated and motivated. Invest in those relationships, for they are the ones that will light up your path and enrich your journey through life. Self-compassion and growth. In the journey of personal growth and self-discovery, one of the most transformative practices you can embrace is self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself, especially when things don't go as planned or when you make mistakes. We often end up being our own toughest critic, setting standards for ourselves that we would never expect from others. But it's important to remember that being kind to yourself is not just about treating yourself gently. It's about acknowledging your humanity and giving yourself the same compassion and understanding that you would offer to a good friend. When you make a mistake, it's natural to feel upset or disappointed. However, the key is not to dwell on the mistake, but to learn from it. Every error provides a unique opportunity for growth and learning. Instead of beating yourself up, ask yourself, what can this teach me? Such questions shift your perspective from self-criticism to constructive self-reflection. This shift is crucial because it moves you away from a mindset of judgment and towards one of growth and resilience. Furthermore, embracing each setback as a stepping stone is vital. Life's challenges are not roadblocks. They are part of the landscape of your personal journey. They are necessary for learning what works and what doesn't, helping you to refine your strategies and make better decisions in the future. Viewing setbacks as opportunities rather than failures transforms them into valuable lessons that contribute to your overall development. Solitude also plays a significant role in this process. In today's hyper-connected world, being alone is often misinterpreted as loneliness. However, solitude is a state that can be immensely beneficial. It is a time for reflection, quiet contemplation, and connection with oneself. Embracing your solitude allows you to delve deeper into your thoughts and emotions, understand your desires, and clarify your goals without the noise and influence of external pressures. It's a chance to truly get to know who you are, what you want out of life, and what you need to let go of to move forward. So, start seeing solitude as a valuable opportunity for growth, not something to fear or avoid. Use this time to engage in activities that nourish your soul and help you recharge. Whether it's reading, writing, meditating, or simply sitting quietly and reflecting, these moments of alone time can be powerful and rejuvenating. Self-compassion and embracing growth are about recognizing that you are a work in progress, which is a beautiful thing. Allow yourself the space to grow, make mistakes, learn, and continue evolving. Be patient with your progress and remind yourself that growth is not a linear path, but a series of ups and downs, each with something valuable to offer. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you create a nurturing environment for the person you are becoming. Embracing solitude. When we talk about embracing solitude, it's important to clear up a common misconception. Solitude is not synonymous with loneliness. In fact, choosing to step into solitude is a powerful decision. It's about discovering completeness on your own. It's about finding strength and contentment within yourself, which is a profound and enriching experience. Solitude allows you the space to truly connect with yourself, away from the distractions and demands of everyday life. In these moments of quiet, you can reflect on your goals, your values, and your personal growth. It's an opportunity to deepen your understanding of who you are and what you truly want out of life. This kind of self-awareness is invaluable as it lays the foundation for making decisions that align more closely with your true self. One of the joys of embracing solitude is learning to appreciate life's simple pleasures. Imagine a quiet morning where the only agenda is to enjoy a cup of coffee while watching the sunrise, or an unplanned afternoon walking through a park where you can connect with nature and simply be present in the moment. Or consider the thrill of picking up a new book or starting a new hobby, where the process of learning itself brings excitement and fulfillment. These simple pleasures add a richness to life that often gets overlooked in the hustle and bustle of busy schedules. They provide a sense of peace and joy that is generated from within, rather than being dependent on external factors. This doesn't mean cutting yourself off from relationships or social activities. Rather, it means fostering a relationship with yourself that is so solid and fulfilling that when you do choose to spend time with others, it is genuinely because it adds to your life, not because you depend on it for your emotional well-being. Moreover, when you are comfortable with solitude, it changes the dynamics of how you interact with others. You begin to engage in relationships not out of necessity, but because you genuinely want to. You allow people into your life who complement your happiness, rather than those who are tasked with being the sole source of it. This shift not only enhances the quality of your relationships, but also helps ensure that your connections are healthy, supportive, and mutually enriching. Embracing solitude is about embracing freedom. The freedom to know and love yourself, to enjoy your own company, and to choose how and with whom you spend your time. It's a practice that strengthens your inner foundation, giving you the stability and confidence to face the world, knowing you are complete, just as you are. So, take the time to explore solitude, find joy in your own company, and watch how it transforms every aspect of your life, making you a more centered, peaceful, and resilient person. Thank you for joining us today on Stoic Journal. Remember, letting go isn't just a step forward, it's a leap towards the peace and clarity that come from living true to yourself. If you're interested in exploring more about how Stoicism can transform your daily life, please check out one of the suggested videos on your screen now. We're here to grow together, and your journey matters deeply to us. Thanks for being a part of our community.